I'm the youngest, I'm the baby. I grew up in Edgewater, up north. The oldest, Pete, he was a troublemaker. He was involved in gangs and ended up addicted to heroin, and he ended up locked up for 6 years for armed robbery. He was a bad guy. He was a stick-up man. He robbed drug dealers, okay? He was a bad guy. The genuine article. My second oldest brother, John, he played football. He was a big guy too. He played football. When he got out of college, he played college football. When he got out of college, he joined the force. He was a cop jock, the genuine article. So I was 18 years old when he came home, and I greeted him with a big hug. My big brother, you know, I love him. You know, I greeted him with a big hug, and we started lifting weights together. Everything was going great. About 6 months later, he starts slipping. He gets back on heroin, and he starts you know, having a hard time. My parents kick him out, but at the time we're living with my grandma, living in my grandma's apartment building, and so Pete gets kicked out of the house. He goes down and live with grandma. So one night, Pete's all strung on heroin. He gets in an argument with her in the alley. He pushes her in the fucking snow and steals her car. So grandma was really pissed off about this shit. She's like, that's fucked up. She's like, I want my fucking car back. She's screaming. I can hear her screaming it. So my brother John, a cop, leaves the west side where he was stationed, goes up to Edgewater where he knew Pete was at, and he goes looking for him. He knows he hangs out with this little bar on Clark Street. He goes in there, starts busting heads, you know, where's Pete Hilm and this and that. He ends up finding a secret passage into the basement where there's a shooting den, where heroin addicts are shooting up. And so he knows Pete's coming over there. He knows Pete's coming. So he leaves the bar. He goes around the corner. He stakes out the bar on a one-way, leading out on Clark Street, where we can see the front door of the bar. About an hour later, guess who shows up in my grandma's car? John floors it, pulls up. Pete runs in the bar. They scream, run. He runs back out of the bar, jumps in the car, and starts fucking taking off. They have a little fucking high-speed chase through the old neighborhood. They're going around driving crazy. Pete's nuts. He's driving 60 miles an hour down side streets, down alleys. He crashes 3 times, 2 times into the parked cars and 1 time into a garage. Finally, he misses an old lady carrying her groceries home by about 1 foot, going about 60 miles an hour. Would have killed her. And my brother John calls off the chase. Okay, so I hear about this. I'm in junior college. I'm gonna fuck up, yo. I'm in junior college. I come home, you know, I'm 18 years old, fresh out of high school, and 2 of my buddies are there, and they're driving me home, and they don't know what's going on because I'm so upset about this shit, you know, because my brother had threatened, in the midst of when he started freaking out, he had threatened my nephew and my niece. He said that they have to walk home from school. He subtly threatened them, and I decided at that time that I was gonna kill my brother. So and then this high-speed chase happens, and I see him coming down the alley. My brother starts pulling down the alley like nothing fucking happened, right? And I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm horrible tonight. So I'm like, oh fuck, I'm like, that's my brother. And my buddy's like, what are you talking about? Of course it's your brother. I'm like, no, fuck that, he stole my grandma's car. So he pulls up, and I'm like, what the fuck's up, motherfucker? And he's acting like nothing's wrong, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck? And I'm about to fucking hit him through the window, right? And he's halfway in the garage, and I'm like, about to hit him through the window, but I just couldn't do it to my brother. And then he's like, what the fuck's up then? What the fuck you doing? And I'm like, this car's fucking stolen. And he's like, oh, I got something for you, motherfucker. And he's like way back. He's like way back. He's like got freaking out on heroin too. He's like, oh fuck, oh, and he starts just going like he's like, ah. And then he's like, oh, I got something for you, motherfucker. I got something for you. He starts reaching in the back seat, and I think he's going for a gun, right? So I scream at my friends. I'm like, call the cops, and I'm holding the door shut so we can't get out, you know. And he's in the back. He's grabbing at something in the bags. My friends take off to go call the cops, and I'm like, and he pulls out a fucking hammer. He's a carpenter, you know. He pulls out a hammer, and he's like freaking out. He starts trying to hit my fingers with the fucking hammer. I got my hand on the fucking car. He's trying to hit my fingers. And I'm like, fuck. He's hitting me shit. And then my other buddy was like, Pete, my brother Pete's like, Nick, get him off the fucking car door. Get him off the fucking car door. And Nick's like, okay. If I get him off, are you gonna leave? And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna leave. So Nick grabs me in a bear hug, picks me up, pulls me away, right? So what does my brother do? He gets out of the fucking car. He gets out of the car with the fucking hammer. And I'm like, fuck. I'm like, alright, so he's coming in with this fucking hammer, and I'm back it up, like, oh fuck. I'm like, what? You need a fucking hammer to whoop your baby brother? And he's like, oh yeah, alright. So he drops the hammer, he comes in, he swings, whoo, whoo, and I swing, bam, bam, and he catches me, boom, catches me in the fucking with the right hand, fucks my eye up, all nasty, I'm swollen up, and I'm like, fuck, and he backs off, and he's like, yeah, don't fuck with me, motherfucker, I'll kill you and all shit. And I'm like, alright, and I look at my friends, and they're looking at me real scared and shit. I'm like, oh fuck. Alright, so I run up, and I'm like, fuck this shit. I run up, we both swing, we're like, boom, I catch him on the left hook. Busts his fucking jaw, his knees go jelly, right? He's like, oh fuck. And I'm like, I'm kind of freaked out, because this is Pistol Pete, right? This is the fucking stick-up man who robs drug dealers. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, I can't believe I just hurt him, you know? And he's like, oh, you got me, baby brother. And he's bleeding and shit. He's like, you got me. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get you again, motherfucker. And I start coming for him. And he starts freaking out. He's like, oh fuck. He starts grabbing shit off the shelves in the garage and throwing them at me. He's like, fucking throwing shit at me. And I'm coming at. I'm like, boom! I catch him with the right hand. He fucking goes out. He falls on top of me. I grab him. I slam him on the cargo that's half in the garage. And I'm on top of him. And my friends are trying to fucking pull me off him and shit. And I'm like, fuck that. I grab hold of him and I pull myself right up on top of him. He's unconscious at this time. But he's kind of coming up. He's kind of coming to. And I go, I'm going to kill you now, motherfucker. And I start headbutting him. Boom! 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 I'm headbutting him as hard as I can. He goes out again. Finally, my buddies, they dragged me off him. They got me off him. My mom's out there by now. Because they ran in the house. So my mom's out there. Now they got me, and like all of a sudden, he's unconscious, I swear to God. And he just fucking wakes up and freaks out and jumps up like some fucking heroin fucking fiend shit. Jumps up at me, and I'm like, oh fuck. And I fucking grab him, and I slam him on the ground. Boom! My grandma's wheelchair is right next to him. I grab the fucking wheelchair, boom! And I fucking lift it over my head, and finally my friends grab me again. They got me now. They got me to bear hug. They're carrying me out of the garage. As they're going, I'm like, I see this garbage can full of fucking shovels and shit. I grab the fucking shovel, and I'm like, let me go, motherfucker, let me go. They let me go, they put me down. So then I got the shovel, and I start running around the other end of the car. My brother fucking freaks out again, all heroin, freaking out. And he's running at me like, ah! And I fucking take the shovel, boom! And he fucking tries to block it. It breaks on his fucking arm, and the fucking shovel part hits him right in the fucking head. And he's just all fucked up. The cops come. He's like screaming that I assaulted him. He hit me first, and he tried to hit me with a hammer. So the cops finally let us go. But you know, a couple weeks later, he went back to the penitentiary, and he was gone. He was gone for like 4 years. And he comes back out. Well, what happens is he's actually in Cook County at this time, and he's got something wrong with his throat, and they sent him to the hospital, and he's got cancer of the throat, real bad, and he's got a tumor in a real bad spot where they got to do a real serious surgery on him, and he's probably gonna die. And I hear about this shit, and I'm like, good. I hope he fucking dies, because that way he'll never fucking hurt my family again, you know. Well, he fucking survives, and he comes out and somehow talks my parents into taking him back in. He comes back, and I wouldn't talk to him. I wouldn't even fucking look at him for 4 fucking months. And eventually, he was doing good, you know, and I was like, alright, I fucking talk to this motherfucker, because I had given up on him, man. And he keeps doing good, and years pass, he fucking finds a good woman, marries her. He fucking gets hired by Walsh, the biggest construction company in the fucking world, and he's making 100 fucking grand a year, and he's fucking doing great. And he fucking, about almost less than a year ago, he had a fucking newborn baby boy. And I don't know, man, I mean, I'm so fucking proud of him, you know. I love him. So fucking proud of him. And I guess what
I guess you're saying.
You're on. I guess what I'm trying to say to you guys is that sometimes you gotta give up on people. Sometimes it's okay to give up on people, but don't ever let that door shut all the fucking way, you know. Don't let that door shut, because people, they'll fucking surprise you. They will fucking surprise you. Thank you, guys.